Like the song by Paul Young goes, Love is in the air. Why is love in the air? Stay tuned.
Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Love is in the air.
Hey guys, it's your favorite mortgage guy, Steve Rockefeller here. First Friday in December. Can you believe it already? I know we've talked about this. Look, just a couple more weeks to go and it'll be 2025. So guys, let me start with your questions as usual. How do I protect my family from any death taxes? And that's not the real question. The question is, if I die, how do my heirs avoid any type of death tax? I mean, who wants to pay the IRS when you don't have to? Okay, listen, excuse me. I need you to call me directly on this one. Last week, I featured Scott Alpern on there. Scott's an attorney. He can answer those tax preparation questions, which also includes whether or not you need a will or an estate plan or a beneficiary plan or something like that. I'm not a lawyer, Scott is, but call me and I'll talk to you more in detail about that. What's the impact of the new administration? All right, you guys know I don't keep this political, so we'll talk about that further in the segment. But I do answer that question coincidentally. I keep getting these refinance offers. What do? You don't believe them. Again, when you're seeing something that you know because you watch the same news I do, and you know that rates are not 3.99 or even 4.99, you don't believe it. You don't believe it because you know that old saying: if it sounds too good to be true, it's not. And Scott, tell them how many pennies are in a dollar.
100 pennies in a dollar, not 105.
Exactly. There's only 100 pennies in a dollar. There's not 100.399 or 100.499. Renovation loans. We've talked about that for the past 4 or 5 weeks. That question keeps coming up. Call me directly on that. If you're really, the short answer is this. We're starting to see a lot of people who can't find, they sell their house, they can't find what they own now, and they want to move, but now, you're going to have to spend 100,000, 200,000, which is the situation I'm in. I'd like to move, but for me to sell what I have to spend more to get less than what I have. So why not just renovate your home? So I've got renovation loans for that. So why is love in the air? You asked that question. Well, you feel it, don't you? Look at your 401k or look at your retirement plans. Look at your investments. Companies like Montgomery Ward, I showed you a couple weeks ago, Montgomery Ward. How long has it been since you've seen that name on the catalog? Or how about the Sharper Image? I haven't seen that in forever. I mean, my gosh, who wouldn't want, listen, come on now, who wouldn't want a motorized pool chair for $139? Or listen, I know, there's something to be said, but who wouldn't want a bacon toaster for $59? Where can you get it? The Sharper Image. Hey, and let's not forget about our friends over there at Bed Bath & Beyond. Even though these companies have filed bankruptcy, they're emerging right now because, hey, you want to know something? They're betting on the economy and they're going to try to make a comeback. Now, it might be an online comeback, hence these catalogs here. I can't wait to see if I get a Bed Bath & Beyond catalog. But you know what? They're all trying to keep up with demand, just like home builders. Home builders right now are trying to keep up with demand. They've got some great values in their products. They've got great values in different neighborhoods. You can pick everything. The only thing you can't pick is your neighbors. You can pick your color, you can pick your carpet, you can pick your nose, you can pick whatever you want. You just can't pick your neighbor. And they're offering great values. Crypto, is that on fire or what? Did you guys see that Bitcoin hit 104,000? Well, it was right under $104,000 the other day, but money is being made. Hey, you want to know something? Just ask your kids, because I guarantee you they are all trading crypto or doing some day trading of some sort, and they're making money because that's what it's for. It's to make money. Crypto is going to take place of our currency at some point. Guys, you know what? I love when I was in the 8th grade, I'll never forget I don't know if it was a civics or a history teacher, Mrs. Zaire was her name. And I'll just never forget her talking about how the government operated is they would get your attention off this because they do something over here. And the next thing you know, what was over here now became the policy. And it's kind of like gas vehicles back in the 30s, right? Oh, that is never going to work. Gas vehicles? What are we going to do with all these horses? Well, now we're past gas and we're on electric. So my point is past gas. Okay. That was not intended to be funny. But now we're past that. So crypto. So, obviously there's some good investments out there. So what's your question now? What are the markets doing? Well, things are lining up to be a great 2025 and beyond. The reason I tell you that is if you look at the headlines, the bond market is starting to cooperate. They're cooperating with the inflationary figures. Do not pay attention to the headlines, guys. Do not pay attention to the headlines because that's what sells. Headlines sell. The real question is, what are rates going to do? And you want to know something? There's not a bunch of mudslinging right now like there used to be back in the day between the candidates. The new regime, or shouldn't call them a regime, the new administration are making positive changes. Now, this is not a political statement. I'm just stating facts. They're making positive changes that are going to impact the future of the nation, the future of the world, and the future of the economy. All I care about is what my kids' future is going to look like and what the mortgage rates are going to do. The real question is, after you weave through the core inflation data, the unemployment data, the Fed updates, and the consistent rises in all the markets, this alone, along with consumer confidence, I can tell you, consumer confidence, I know you guys feel it just like I do. They're looking for future rate improvements, and we're going to see it. When? Likely now. We went from the second quarter of 2025 to now we're moving to the third quarter of 2025. And that's a good thing because, hey, you know what? We've got a target now. We've always had a target, but now we've got a more realistic target. On the 17th and 18th, the Fed of this month, the Fed is going to meet. They'll decide again what rates are going to do. But of course, rates are baked in. So if the mortgage market feels like that we're going to see some good things come from the Fed in a couple of weeks, then you'll probably see an improvement in rates. Is it going to be significant? No, it never is. But that's the start of the decline in interest rates. Now, again, late 2025 is when you're going to see some meaningful discounts, but that's okay. If it slows down gradually, that's great. What does that mean for now? Buy the damn house. Buy the damn house. That's what it means right now. And you know why I tell you that? If you wait, prices are going to continue to rise. We're going to see a glut in the market in January because everybody's got their goals of buying in 2025 and they're going to go out and they're going to buy these houses. Now, if you miss out on an opportunity, it's your own fault and you're going to miss out on the equity boom. Remember this, if you would have bought a house in 2021, it's likely that you would have picked up over $200,000 in equity, depending on the market you're in. Could have been more, could have been a little bit less. $200,000, that was 3 years ago. You would have picked up $200,000 in equity. Now, here's an example. Do you think that those people that bought last October when rates were 7.75 up to 8.25, you think that they gave a crap? No, they didn't. And here's why. They didn't worry. They just didn't worry. They just wanted to get into a home. Now, they also know that right now, these people are coming back to me to refinance because they're saving 2% on their interest rate. And they knew that that was going to happen. So listen to this. If you pick up that much equity in a year, let's say you pick up, I don't know, $25,000 in equity. The difference between the payment you bought at last year and the payment this year with the difference in the interest rate is about $300. Okay, so $3,600. Let's annualize it. 3 times 12, $3,600 in equity. So the net cost of equity would have been $21,000 you would have picked up in equity if you'd have bought last year when rates were at their peak. Buy the damn house. That's what I'm telling you guys. I've got probably 8 clients that are shopping for that needle in the haystack. Just don't get caught up in that because if you do, it's going to cost you money. Now, the other thing is this, get into the pre-approval fight. The good news is all the clients that are waiting, I understand you got to find the right house. You got to find the right neighborhood because who wants to move a second time, right? I totally get it. But get into the pre-approval fight. The good news is the vast majority of those ones that are looking right now got into the pre-approval fight. The loan's already been to underwriting. Now all we got to do is get the appraisal and get everything else moving. So get into the pre-approval fight now so that you can strike next year. The real estate market is changing. We just saw the real estate commissions are changing. And after every one of these significant changes, you see changes in the marketplace. So guys, I want you to be ahead of this. That's why I do this every Friday. I want you to be informed. The question is, do you want to earn equity and do you want to retire debt? That question came up at the top. I didn't bring it up. The reason why I'm doing it now is because now you can get ahead of the rush. If you've got that kind of equity and you've got $20,000 to $30,000 in credit card debt, and you've got a car and a boat and all this stuff you bought because it was such a good deal over the last couple of years, but now you're like, oh my God, it's costing me thousands a month. Let's get that debt retired. Let's create cash flow for you. Let's get you the titles to these vehicles. Let's get you back in a better financial possession. Get into the let's try this again. Get into the pre-approval fight by doing that, because here's something else you can do. Several of you are looking for second homes right now. And because we've talked, we're utilizing the equity in your home, you're refinancing, we're taking the down payment out. That way it doesn't cost you any money out of pocket to get your second home or your rental property. Guys, this is big. We're on to something big next year. I know you can feel it. Get into the fight. Make sure you tell your friends, your families, your coworkers to call your favorite mortgage guy, Steve. All the information's down in here. Hey, one last thing I want to tell you. You know what? I feature Scott on here a lot for the 100 pennies in a dollar. You can do it too. If you want to text me a video of what Scott does, your own version of it, text it to me. Just do me a favor. Keep it under 30 seconds. Text it to me and we'll use you. Hope you guys have a phenomenal first weekend in December. Bye now.
Love is in the air, every sight and every sound.